What is going on, boys and girls? My name is Orb and welcome to my first impressions video for the Crysis 3 beta that is currently out on Origin. And what you're watching right now is pretty much what I've been doing the last couple of days. I'm super into the Crysis 3 beta and I just want to try and get as much playtime as possible because this game is just so much fun. And yeah, in this video I want to talk about some of my likes, some of my dislikes, and what I think about the game modes and yeah, the game overall. So obviously, first, if you know me, you know I have some history with Crysis, and in Crysis 2, I was actually ranked #1 in the world for a small amount of time, not gonna lie, but still ranked #1 nonetheless. So I have had some time in that game. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So I like the game, and there's a few things you like about Crysis. Obviously, the first one is the looks, and this was dates all the way back to Crysis 1. Crysis 1 was one of those games that you told your friends, hey, can you run, I bought a new PC, and your friends were like, oh, well, can you run Crysis on Ultra? And if you couldn't run Crysis on Ultra, you had a crappy PC. That was pretty much how it worked when me and my friends sort of compared systems. But yes, ever since Crysis 1, it's always been about the looks. It's a good-looking game. A lot of people ask me, oh, the game is, very good-looking, but how is the frames? Let me just direct your attention to the top left corner of your screen. You can currently see that I'm rocking 250 frames, sometimes hitting over 300 and sometimes dipping a bit to about 100, but a steady 200-ish FPS, and this is with all the graphical settings on low and off, and it's still looking, in my eyes at least, it's still looking great. I'm one of those guys that, ever since Counter-Strike, I had to get, every bit of a frame that I could. If I could, disable a certain option or change something to get more frames, I would do that, and that is exactly what I've done with the graphics in this game. But it's still very, very good looking, at least in my eyes. If I bump it up to Ultra, I get about 70 to 100 frames on my system. And I mean, it's good. The performance-wise, it is really, really good, and they're really maintaining, good graphics with, good stability and good performance. So I enjoy that a lot. If a game, slows down to 30 frames or drops down to 30 frames, that is not something that I can play with. I'm too much of a FPS extraordinaire, if you will, to not get every bit of a frame that I can. So just wanted to let you know, performance is great, it's good looking, and they're definitely maintaining that. So something else I like, and something I definitely want you to check out, is the Hunter mode. If you can only check out one game in the Crysis 3 beta, definitely go ahead and check out the Hunter mode. If you don't know what Hunter mode is, it's pretty much that 2 people are going to start against 6 or 14 people, and this kind of depends on your system. I believe on PC we have maximum slots up to 16 players in the beta. In Hunter mode for PC users, you have 14 survivors, as they call them, against 2 hunters, and the hunters' goal is just simply to kill the survivors, and they have some help along the way. So what they have is they have maximum stealth. I believe they have maximum armor. I'm unsure about this, but I believe so. They pretty much have unlimited energy, so they can sprint for super far, and they sprint super fast, also jump super high and all that good stuff. And the survivors are slowing, they're a bit slowed down, they can't move as quickly, they don't have a nanosuit, and they're pretty much just in the shithole, as I would put it. And the hunter's goal is, yeah, as I said, is simply to kill them. Survivors, they are going to try and survive for at least 2 minutes, or for the duration of 2 minutes. If they don't, they lose. If they survive, or if one guy survives, they win. So that is kind of how it works. And this game mode is just so much fun, and I would recommend playing this with friends, because hearing each other's reactions of like panic and kind of mad laugh when you're killing everybody. And something I want to mention is that you're going to see a lot of Hunter mode on my channel. I'm both going to talk about tips and tricks on how to survive longer, or how to hunt people down quicker or more efficiently, and I'm also going to invite other YouTubers and friends to come on and play, because it is just so much fun, and I really want you guys to see how much fun it can actually be. So that is something you're going to see on my channel, and as I said, if you can only check out one thing, or if you can only check out Crysis 2 for a limited amount of time, definitely go ahead and check out the Hunter mode. You will not be displeased by checking that out. So Orb, you're obviously talking about a lot of things that you like. Is there something you dislike? And yes, there are. There's always going to be certain things, and things that I think needs tweaking or changing or something like that. And one of the main issues that I'm having with the game, and this is not a super big issue, but at the same time kind of is, and the main thing is the weapons. So obviously you're gonna try and stick to the SMGs, and that is pretty much what everybody's playing with, or the assault rifles. I'm not quite sure if there is a difference, but the main amount of people, or the majority of the people, stick with the rifles, and I feel like that's kind of boring. You kind of want everybody to try out every gun, and something I've noticed is that the snipers are really terrible. It is really, really difficult to kill somebody with a sniper. You know, something I would like change is to add a bit more damage to the sniper, for instance. The first sniper is something that is, you know, it's not the best weapon in the game, and maybe it's supposed to be that way, I'm not quite sure, but, you know, 3 sniper shots to the stomach is not something that I really, you know, that I don't really care for that very much, because if you have a sniper and, you know, it's a bit more hard to use, I want it to be at least a 2-shot kill. That's kind of how I look at the snipers. But hey, maybe that was something they thought about. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm, you know, aiming at their feet. I'm maybe not sure, but you know, do have in mind that this is the beta, so everything I'm saying is subject to change. So I want to mention that. And also, if you want to check out Crysis 3, check out your origin store. It will be in there, and I believe that everybody around the world can download it. I'm not quite sure if you can't in whatever country you're in. I'm sorry. You know, please don't hate on me, but as far as I know, everybody should have access to it. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it. So expect a lot more Crysis 3 content on the channel. Rate the video as you please, add it to your favorites, and share with friends if you want them to know about Crysis. If you want them to get a feel for what Crysis 3 is all about, definitely go ahead and do so. And yeah, guys, that will be everything. Have an incredible day, and I will see you next time. Later, guys. Bye.